morning, students. In the last class, we were talking about the topic Population Stabilization Act, birth control. See here, Population Stabilization and birth control. Okay, in the population stabilization, we had talked about how much number of population are going to increase day by day. Okay, from 1990 to 2000, what was the population all over the world? Like that, we had studied it. Okay, so after that all thing here, due to the increase in the population day by day, there is a decrease in the resources such as food, shelter, economy, agriculture. So in everything there is an day by day there is a decrease. Okay, for what? For the increase in the population. So here they had given some slogan in the people who are literate or educated, or the people who are living in urban areas. They had given one slogan that is, so today in India the slogan was "Hum do hamare do." This is the slogan which was given by the government, Indian government. For what? For reducing the population of India. Okay, so they should maintain only 2 children in a family so that they can maintain a healthy family. Okay, some of the educated who are working, they are subjected to one child norm. What it is? That is the one child norm. Okay, means they are going only for one child. Okay, due to which the population may decrease, the resources may increase. If these things are implemented on home, on the rural peoples. Okay, so the next next we will go for the birth control or contraception. Birth control, which can be also known as the contraception. Birth control or contraception. Here, what is contraception? First we will see. It is the voluntary or deliberate prevention of. What is contraception or birth control? It is voluntary or deliberate prevention of pregnancy after sexual activity. Okay, voluntary means they are willing, they want. Okay, voluntary or deliberate prevention. The pregnancy should not attain. Okay, even after the sexual activity or sexual intercourse. Okay, if sexual activity is going to take place, then the fertilization is going to take place. If fertilization takes place, means pregnancy will attain. So here, what is birth control or contraception meaning means, if sexual activity has been taken place, but the couples does not want the pregnancy. Okay, so that they does not want the pregnancy, that means the birth control or contraception. Okay, so here how they can control the birth, or what are the main aims for contraception? First is preventing contact between preventing contact between sperm and ovum. This is the first step, preventing contact between the sperm and ovum. See, fertilization means the ova is going to fuse with the sperm. Okay, this is, if it is going to fuse with the sperm, then only the fertilization, then only the pregnancy is going to attain. But here, first step, the sperm should not fuse with the ova. They are preventing by using some of the methods. This is the first time of contraception. Then second thing, preventing fertilization. Preventing fertilization. After fusion or after contact of sperm and ova, fertilization is going to take place. If that is also going to be prevented, then pregnancy is also going to be prevented. The next, preventing the embryo from implanting into the uterus. Means after fertilization, see, first this thing, second preventing the fertilization, same thing, preventing the fusion. After fusion, if at all the fusion has not taken place, then zygote is formed. Zygote will undergo in the cleavage to form the blastocyst. So this blastocyst is going to implanted into the female uterus. Okay, that implantation is also going to be prevented. Then there will be no pregnancy. Okay, so these are the three main aims or three main implements on the what? Contraception. What is the main aim of contraception? Prevent the contact between sperm and ova, fertilization, then preventing the embryo from implanting into the uterus. So the next here, this birth control or contraception, it's of three methods. Okay, so what are the three methods? This categorized into the three methods. First of all, the contraception or birth control, which can also be called as the spacing method, spacing between the children, or either spacing or either permanently they don't want the children. Okay, so in that first we will see some of the methods. Here, this contraception can be categorized into under three methods, that is three methods. First is natural or temporary method. Sorry, natural or physiological method. Physiological method. Second is, first one. Second is temporary methods. And third is permanent method. here, in a natural or physiological method, naturally they can prevent or they can go into the contraception. That is natural or physiological method. Temporary method means some of the methods are there which can be used or which can be implemented only for a certain period of time. So that's why we can call it as the temporary method. Then lastly, permanent method is there, where permanently they don't want the child, then they can go for the permanent method. So first we will see about the natural or physiological method. In this natural or physiological method, here what is the main principle means for this natural method, it prevents the contact between sperm and ova. Contact between sperm and ova. This is the main principle for what? For the natural or physiological method, or else thereby preventing. See, if contact between the sperm and ova is going to prevent, then there will be preventing fertilization, then the conception. So here, this natural or physiological method, it includes certain methods such as periodic abstinence, coitus interruption. Here I will explain. There are three methods under this natural method. First is periodic abstinence. Second is coitus interruption. And the third is lactational amenorrhea. Lactational amenorrhea. This is one method. These are the three methods which includes under the natural or physiological method. First is periodic abstinence. In that you had studied, you know about the menstrual cycle. Okay, in that menstrual cycle, you had studied. This is the cycle 1 to 5th day. This is the bleeding time from 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. This is the pre-ovulatory phase. Then 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. From 10, 11, from 12 to the 16th day, this is the ovulatory phase. The remaining whatever here, 17 to 28 days, this is the post-ovulatory phase. Here, if in this periodic abstinence, if menstrual days can be calculated accurately, at that time, 1st to 5th day will be a menses day. Then again, from 6th to 11th day, this will be the safe period. Safe period for what? For the sexual activity. Okay, safe period for sexual activity, because at these days there will be ovulation is going to take place. If there is no ova in the female reproductive system, then if sperms comes there, there will be no contact with the ova or there will be no fertilization. So this we can create as the safe period. Then from 12 to 16th day, again this is the unsafe period, because from 12 to 16th, in between that, the ovulation may take place. If ovulation takes place, means then fertilization is going to take place. So if during this time sexual activity taken place means then fertilization is going to take place. Okay, so this is the unsafe period for the couple. The next, from 17th to 28th day, again this will become the safe period. During these days, if they will undergo into the sexual activity, then there will be no fertilization because ova is going to degenerate or it is going to disrupt it. Okay, again during this time, if sperms comes into the female reproductive tract also, there will be no ova for fertilization. So if they are calculating all these days accurately, then it is known as the periodic absistence. Okay, so they should have, the couple should have the knowledge of accurate days of menstrual cycle. Okay, so this is about what? Periodic absistence. The next, second is the coitus interruption. Okay, which is also known as the withdrawal coitus or pull-out method. So let's see about the second one. Coitus interruption, which is also known as the withdrawal coitus or pull-out method. In this method, it is a natural method where a man withdraws his penis. Man withdraws his penis from the vagina during the ejaculation of sperm. Due to which they can prevent the entry of sperm. Prevent the entry of sperm into the vagina or the cervix. Okay. During the time of ejaculation means when the sperms are going to, semen is going to release. At that time they are going to withdraw his penis. The next, last is the lactational amenorrhea. Lactational amenorrhea method, which is also known as, in short, LAM. Sometimes they will ask for need. Okay, so it is also one of the natural method based on the fact that after birth or after delivery of the child, the woman will undergo into the process of breastfeeding. Okay, here the woman who is breastfeeding, okay, there will in that particular woman there will be no ovulation. If no ovulation, there will be no menses. Okay, if no ovulation, no OR going to raise means no menses. If no menses means there will be no fertilization. If sperm comes there in the female reproductive tract, no ova means there will be no fertilization. Okay, so if whatever, when till what time the woman undergoing into the breastfeeding process, for example, it will be it will be of 6 months. If woman is fully feeding to his child, then there will be no ovulation. Okay, so it will be of 6 months, and this after 6 months, when the woman stops for breastfeeding to a child, at that time she may again experience the ovulation or the menses. Then again she can attain the pregnancy. So till 6 months there will be no menses, no ovulation, so there will be no pregnancy. This is also one of the natural methods for contraception. Okay, so the next This is about what? About the natural or physiological method, where it is goes with the periodical absistence, which is also known as the rhythm method. So this is based on the rhythm method, which is based on the menstrual cycle. Second is the coitus interruption. Third is the lactational amenorrhea method. Then second method, that is the temporary method. So let's see about that one. Again the birth control, as I told, that we can say as the spacing method. So such as what are the methods or what are the techniques which are used in the temporary method? That is the barrier method, IUDs, intrauterine devices, IUDs, then pill method, tablets, oral pill method, then injections, then implants. All these are the spacing method which comes under the temporary method. So first we will see about the barriers. Here, this is one of the mechanical obstruction that will act as a barrier preventing the contact between the sperm and ova, thereby preventing the fertilization. This barrier method, by using some of the mechanical techniques, they are going to prevent the contact between the sperm and ova, which further will prevent the fertilization. So what are that means? It involves the condom, diaphragm, cervical warts, etc. Okay. So first, condom. This is which is made up of a thin sheath rubber latex. Thin sheath of rubber latex. This condom not only prevents the contact between the sperm and ova, but also it is acting as a barrier for preventing the STDI. STDs or STDI and mutually for AIDS, to control the AIDS or to prevent the AIDS. STDs means that is the sexually transmitted diseases, sexually transmitted infections, and AIDS can be prevented by what? By this method. Okay. So here, how it is going to prevent means, it is a thin sheet of rubber latex which is going to cover the penis, intake, and cover the vagina and or cervix in female, and both male and female condoms are available, easily available, and it will be durable. One of the common brand of this condom is the Nero. Okay, there will be no side effects. Directly, it will by covering the penis or by covering the vagina or the cervix in the females, there will be semen is not going to release into the female uterus. So this is about the condom. Next we will see about the diaphragm. Next, diaphragm. It is a dome-shaped disc made up of a rubber which covers the entry of uterus. Dome-shaped disc which covers the entry of uterus. That means the cervix. Which covers the cervix. The covering the cervix. The sperms cannot enter into the uterus. By what? By a dome-shaped disc-like instrument or a mechanical instrument will be there, which is going to insert it into the what? That is in the female reproductive tract. The next, cervical walls. Here, same as diaphragm, it is also a smaller size dome-shaped disc-like structure will be there, which is inserted into the female cervix, which is going to cover the totally. It is going to cover the cervix, by which there will be no entry of sperms into the uterus. So this is about what? About the barrier methods. Next we will go for the IUDs. IUDs, that is the intrauterine devices. This is very important for 2 or 3 marks. Okay, one question will be asked on the basis of what? Intrauterine devices. So here, this intrauterine devices, what they are means, these are the mechanical devices. Mechanical devices that are inserted into uterus. That are inserted into uterus. Okay, directly they are going to insert into what? Into the uterus. So, after inserting into the uterus, it can prevent the fertilization. This is the main name of IUDs. So here, these are small objects like loops, rings, small objects such as loops, rings, then spirals. So these loops, rings or spirals, these are made up of plastic, copper or stainless steel. Plastic, copper or stainless steel. Okay, so here these are inserted into the uterus, which are very smaller in size. Okay, so here these intrauterine devices are of 3 types. One is non-medicated IUDs, second is copper releasing IUDs, and the third is hormone releasing IUDs. What are that? 3 types of IUDs are there. First is non-medicated IUDs. Second is copper releasing IUDs. And the third is hormone releasing IUDs. Okay, so first we will see about the non-medicated IUDs. This non-medicated IUDs, one of the example is Lipperloop. Here, how they are going to prevent the fertilization means these particular IUDs will have one property, and that property is the phagocytic nature. Okay, phagocytic means they are going to engulf the sperms. So phagocytosis the sperms, phagocytosize the sperms where in uterus. Example is that is Lipper's loop. See, for example, here this is the female reproductive system. Lipper's loop means, for example, this is the Lipper loop. Okay, one spiral shaped loop will be there, which is made up of stainless steel. So this will engulf these sperms. Okay, in this way they are going to kill or engulf the sperms. But if sperms are going to killed by this property, then there will be no fertilization. Okay, so there is not much side effects. If it is not suitable for some woman's uterus, means there will be heavy bleeding. Okay, so this is the one of the side effect of this Lipper's loop. Except this one, there will be no side effects of Lipper's loop. So it has to be replaced within 2 to 5 years. The next comes the copper releasing IUDs. Copper releasing IUDs means they are going to release the copper ions. Copper releasing IUDs. These intrauterine devices will release the copper ions. Release the copper ions in the uterus. Okay, so these copper ions will suppress the sperm motility. This will suppress the sperm motility. So they will not reach till the ova. See here. One of the example for this copper releasing IUD, copper T, which is T in shape. Okay, so this copper T is going to release the copper ions. These copper ions in the uterus, what they will do means, they will just, if sperms are entering into the uterus, they will make them immotile. Immotile means unable to move. If they are unable to move in the uterus, they cannot reach till the fallopian tube, due to which there will be prevention of contact between the sperm and ova. Copper T is there, copper 7 is there. Some more example, copper 7, multi-load 375. These are the some examples of copper releasing IUDs. Next, the last one is the hormone releasing IUDs. Here, hormone releasing IUDs means some of the IUDs are there which will make the uterus unsuitable for implantation. If there is no implantation, then there will be no pregnancy. Unsuitable for implantation, as well as the cervix will hostile for sperms. Means cervix will not allow the entry for the sperms. Okay, which will prevent the fertilization, hormone releasing IUDs. So this IUDs inserted makes the uterus unsuitable for implantation. This is one thing. And the second thing, it makes cervix hostile for sperms. Okay. In this way, they will prevent the fertilization. So this is about what? About the temporary methods in which you had studied about the value and the IUDs. Okay. The next is the pill method. What are the pills which are used as a contraceptive pills? Method, which is also known as the hormonal method or oral contraceptive. Hormonal method or oral contraceptive. Here, in this method, hormonal tablets are going to be taken orally in the form of pills to prevent the ovulation. See here, hormonal tablets orally taken for what? For prevent the ovulation or to prevent the ovulation. If there is no ovulation, then there will be no fertilization. Okay. So here, first tablet, there is a combination of some hormones. That is combination of progesterone and estrogen. These both hormones are involved in maintaining the pregnancy as well as the menstrual cycle. So here there is a combination of progesterone and estrogen. This is one method or this is one type of tablet. Here each pill contains a combination of estrogen and a progesterone. So this combination of estrogen and progesterone, it will prevent the ovulation. Okay. The next thing here, one of the example I told you that it is about the Saheli. This is a non-hormonal or non-steroidal tablet or a pill. What it is? Non-hormonal and non-steroidal tablet or a oral pill which are going to be taken by most of the women, which does not have a much side effects. Okay. So this is about what? About the pill method or hormonal method. In the next class, we will continue with the injections and implants. The next we will go for the surgical method or permanent method. Okay, thank you.